Hi, I'm Heather with Radical Pleasurist. In my prior video, I shared 3 keys to radical change. I will link a copy of that in the description below. But briefly, they were 1, slow the fuck down. It's actually incremental, consistent, meaningful change that really sticks. 2, take really good notes and be microscopically honest with yourself. What I find over and over again is that people actually make way more progress than they give themselves credit for. They don't celebrate the small wins, and then they feel defeated and like, fuck it, why should I even bother? So take really good notes so that you can identify the progress that you are making. And 3 is when a familiar stimulus presents itself, pause, breathe, and choose to do something at least slightly differently. The example I gave in the video before was, your boss is coming towards you and they've got that look on their face like they're bringing you a shit sandwich. Sometimes the pause and the breath is all you really have an opportunity for. Still, that is doing something slightly differently. You will have a slightly different experience with that interaction, and that is well worth celebrating. All right, so how did it go? And when I ask that question, what do you notice in your body? Honestly, slow the fuck down is available in every opportunity, even this one, where you can just pause and take a breath and really ask yourself, how did it go? Now, some of you might be saying, it was awesome, I'm ready for whatever comes next. And probably, though, most of you are saying, I tried. I made it about 10 days and then I fell back into old habits. I just totally suck. Why should I even bother? All right, first of all, please take another deep breath and listen. Changing habits that you have had for years does not happen all at once unless something super dramatic forces you to. And the invitation here is to do it a bit gentler, okay? Progress over time with small, meaningful shifts is what we're going for here. It doesn't have to be dramatic and painful. Okay, so if you feel like your progress was awesome, yay, I'm celebrating with you. I invite you to still watch this whole video because I bet you'll pick up on some more ways that you can fine-tune your process so you can keep it up throughout the year in the coming months. All right, so for the rest of you, just starting, making an effort is worth celebrating. That is progress. I remember repeatedly starting and falling off the track, with every new habit I chose to create for myself. It's just like learning to walk. You weren't a master at it your first time. The next time you get a chance to watch a toddler learning to walk, see how their parents celebrate them. Look at the small progress. Yeah, they get pissed and frustrated sometimes too when they fall yet again, but they get back up. They don't beat themselves up over it. They just keep trying because they know they can do this. You can do this too. All right, so I'm gonna give you an example of what a month of incremental change might look like. I'm gonna imagine that many of you probably decided to maybe improve your eating habits, and so I'm gonna use that as an example. A few years ago, I was experiencing a health crisis, and one of the ways that I healed myself was through nutrition. In the process of deep dives into nutrition-based healing protocols, quite a few of them, not just one, but through those deep dives, I learned more than a few things about how to approach significant changes in diet and how to make it stick. All right, so in week 1, you're gonna keep notes on everything that goes in your mouth. Don't change a single thing. Just eat and drink whatever you normally would. This is the slow the fuck down part. And take notes. It doesn't have to be elaborate or detailed, just accurate and honest. This is the good notes part. And bonus, you also get step 3 in here. You're doing something differently. You weren't taking notes about what you were eating before, were you? So love that efficiency. But here's some examples of what you might write down. Maybe in the morning you have a cup of coffee with some hot chocolate mixed in, and maybe a bowl of oatmeal. Sometime in the mid-morning you have a snack, like someone in the office brought in some donuts. Great, you have a donut. Lunchtime, maybe you have a burger and fries and a Coke. At dinner time, maybe you have a salad and some chicken. And dessert, like a bowl of ice cream. It's, pretty typical stuff. Do that for a week. Write your notes right away though. Do not depend on your memory and think that you can write it down at the end of the day. Once in a while that might work, but for the most part, you're gonna forget stuff that you ate or drank if you try to do it from memory. So write it as you go. Okay, week 2. Continue keeping those really good notes with no changes to what you're putting in your mouth. You're gonna add 2 more pieces of data that you're gonna start tracking. 1 is, how do you feel before you eat? And 2 is, how do you feel after you eat? At first, it might be kind of hard to tell, and that's okay, because tuning into your body and how it feels and how it's affected by your food is a high-level skill that takes a lot of practice. It's so worth it though. If you're totally at a loss of what to do, like how to kind of tune into your body and identify how you feel before you eat, I got you, don't worry. I'm gonna give you an idea of where to start. So what you'll do is you'll sit with your feet on the floor and your back straight. You'll have your food in front of you. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Keep your eyes closed and scan through your body from your head to your toes. What do you notice in your head? Don't get distracted by your thoughts. Just know you're looking for sensations here. Like for example, in this moment, I'm feeling slightly lightheaded. What's going on in your throat? Your chest. My chest feels quite tight right now. How about your stomach, your pelvis, your legs, your feet? Just anything at all, or any emotions rising to the surface. Do you still feel tightness? Do you feel pain? Do you feel achy? Anything at all, just write it down. Don't put a lot of thought into it, just write it down. All right. Now, open your eyes, take at least 3 more deep breaths, and while you're doing that, look at your food. Just really take it in with your eyes, with your nose. What does it smell like? What does it look like? What is how does the food interact with each other on the plate or in your bowl? What is the color? All of that. Notice those kind of things. Just write some basic notes about that experience in your body and go ahead and eat. When you're done eating, repeat the breathing and the body scan and write down some more notes. So that's week 2. Week 3. Now I bet by week 3, the whole idea of slow the fuck down is really gonna be getting to you. Stick with me here. You might be saying, let's get on with it already. I'm ready to change my whole diet. Now's the time to remind yourself that incremental, meaningful progress of 5% and no more than 10% improvement is really what you're striving for. What would that look like? It might be cutting the amount of ice cream you have back to half a cup and switching the Coke that you have at lunch to iced tea. That's it. No more changes. Keep notes on what you're eating, what you feel in your body before you eat, and what you feel afterwards. Week 4. Keep everything the same, but find another 5 or 10% improvement that you can implement while maintaining the progress that you made last week. Now, by now, you may have identified some relationship between how you feel after you eat certain things. The ones that seem to lead to feeling good after eating, eat more of those. There may be times after eating, and sometimes it may take an hour or more, so you're gonna have to kind of keep paying attention, that you might feel heavy or irritable, anxious, sleepy, or achy. So see if you can identify the common threads. If you aren't noticing much difference, you might consider making some simple swaps, like compare your notes how you felt after you ate your last burger and fries and how you feel after switching that for a lettuce wrap and some salad. And I'm going to remind you again, I didn't get to this level of body awareness that I have all at once. I built this skill, and you can too, with practice and more practice. So, I'd love to hear, what did you focus on for January? Please put it in the comments below. I'll share that my primary focus for January was to identify the natural rhythm of my energy levels and paying particular attention to the days and times of day that I feel most creative or focused, because they rarely overlap, so that I can schedule my plans for each week based on that rhythm. Now, as you continue through this process, please keep in mind, you do not have to do it alone. You can. I know you can. I believe in you. However, I invite you to consider how good it could feel to have a guide along the way. Someone who knows how challenging change can be, especially those of long-standing habits, and how much easier it gets with support. If you would like to talk with me about what options are available to work with me, please schedule a time for a free consultation. My calendar will be in the video description. Have a radically pleasurable day. I know I will.